Hello, this is Chris with Westside Technology Solutions. In today's video, I'm going to be describing the difference between a static and a dynamic website, and I'm going to be using my LinkedIn page to do that. Starting off with a static website is something that's generally written in fixed content, like HTML, CSS. For a website like this, you would write an HTML file for every single page, and the page would not change unless it's manually changed by a developer. So for example, if we looked at my LinkedIn page, we can check out the page source here and see the HTML of the page. So if you wanted to create a page kind of like this, you would have to create an HTML file that would look like this, and it would be hard-coded. If you wanted to change anything about the page, you'd have to come in and manually edit this file. For a platform like LinkedIn, this probably wouldn't be a great option because you would need a page like this for every single profile. However, there are several benefits of static websites. They are very fast because there's no need to render any HTML, which I'll touch on in just a moment with dynamic sites. They are quite simple to build. That does depend on the goal of the project. And they can be quite cost effective because there's no upkeep for server costs or anything. Usually you can just host the HTML files and they're served right up. So it's very simple. Static sites are also very secure because there's no server to hack. On the opposite token, a dynamic website is a website that uses server-side rendering to generate pages or HTML based on real-time content. So looking back at the LinkedIn page, basically what LinkedIn does is they create one profile page, they code it one time, and then all the different pages are database driven. So they have one template for this page, and then they can look up the user information to populate the page. So right here, they just put the username, the picture, and then what they probably do is they look at your experience. They have a loop that loops over each of your roles and displays out the information. And what that does on the server is it generates a file like this on the fly, which is quite different from the static site. This is really beneficial for projects that can be a little bit bigger, something that might need a content management system, maybe like a blog or an e-commerce shop, pretty much anything that might need a lot of different pages or a lot of different pieces of content that are of the same type. Again, referring to something like a blog. So how do they compare side by side exactly? Well, static sites are really good for simple informational content with minimal updates. If you use something like a brochure site, maybe a landing page or a portfolio that doesn't need to be updated very often, it might be a really good option because of the affordability and the simplicity. On the opposite side, dynamic sites are good for businesses that need regular content updates and interactive features. Like I said, something like a blog or an e-commerce shop, where you need to go in and be able to add blog articles or products or whatever that might be. If you or someone you know needs help deciding which type of site is right for your project, definitely feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help talk things through and help you make a decision that's going to benefit your business as much as possible. Thank you for tuning into today's video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know.